Cropper, the 40 Developmental Asset Coordinator for the Brown County Educational Service Center. We would like to welcome you to the Human Library to be held on Tuesday of the Brown County Fair from 1 to 3 p.m. That's September the 28th in the Danny Gray Building. Now you may wonder, what is the Human Library? Well, on this day we have 42 participants that represent 42 different careers, not only from Brown County, but some of our surrounding counties as well. They're going to talk about their specific career, the jobs they like, and the information they would like to share with you, whether you're a youth or adult, in terms of career exploration. Why are we doing this event? We want to make sure that you have a great understanding about careers and those opportunities that exist in our region and nationally as well, because careers are so important. We hope that you can come and visit anytime from 1 to 3. It's a very informal event where you'll sit down and chat with somebody in this particular career industry and talk to them about what they do in their job on a daily basis, those challenges they might face, how they got to this specific job, and what it all entails on a daily basis. Now you wonder, what is GRIT all about? When we talk about the GRIT project, we're talking about GRIT, and that stands for Growing Rural Independence Today. GRIT is all about helping youth and adults find a passion and a career that best suits their interests, their abilities, their academics, and will give them a success and a leg up in life. GRIT is a 7-part assessment that students and adults take, looking at the strengths and skills that they might bring to a particular job. That assessment then is completed, and after the assessment, you're coached by a trained coach that will go through each segment of the assessment and identify those strengths again, those skills, taking a look at what will help you as an employee someday to be the best that you can be. Again, the Human Library, Tuesday, September 28th, 1 to 3, Danny Gray Building. We hope to see you at the Little State Fair, the Brown County Fair.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Amanda Brannock. I work for Brown County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and I am a resident here in Brown County, and I graduated from Eastern Brown High School.
Awesome. What industry do you work in? What's your role there?
Like I said, I work for Brown County Board of Developmental Disabilities. I do advocacy, transition, and employment coordinating services.
Awesome. What steps did you take to get the education or training that you needed for this position?
So through the Department of Developmental Disabilities, you have to have an associate's degree. And then there's also trainings that you have to go through once you are a county board employee for the employment process, the transition process, and also to make sure you're advocating for your individuals.
For a high school student who wants to go into this kind of field of work, what kind of first steps do you recommend?
Make sure this is something you're passionate about. Individuals with developmental disabilities need all the help that they can get, and make sure you're willing to advocate for these individuals, whether it be a school-age student or an adult.
And for an adult looking to move in this field, what do you think that they should do, or how do you think they should go about it?
Sure. If you are an adult interested in this field, come and shadow us for a day. Be acclimated with some of our individuals, see if this is something that you're truly passionate about before you jump in head first.
And for someone who's not working in this field or doesn't know anything about your field of work, what do you think is something surprising that they may not know?
Individuals with developmental disabilities often have a stereotype, but once you get to know them, they are amazing and wonderful people.
And what are 2 or 3 things you do in a typical workday?
Again, I go into schools. We have a project that's called PREETS. It's through Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities. PREETS stands for Pre-Employment Transition Services. You go in to the high school, start with the transition age, which starts at 14. Work with them and get them ready for employment, whether they decide to defer their diploma and stay in school till the age of 22, or graduate and go into employment right out of high school. We also have a new program in Brown County. It's housed at Southern Hills Career and Technical Center. It's called Project Life. It is for those students that have deferred their diploma. They enter this program. They learn all about life skills and employment in the community.
Okay, one last question. What are 3 adjectives you think you could use to describe your job?
Fun, amazing, and always changing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. May you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Deanna Viets. I'm the director of the Brown County Board of Mental Health and Addiction Services.
What industry do you work in, and what is your role within that industry?
So I work in government, but also with mental health and addiction, and I'm the executive director of the organization.
What steps did you take to get the education or training you needed for this role?
I did a bachelor's degree in psychology at Ohio University and a master's degree at Wright State University in mental health counseling.
For a high school student interested in your job or this field, what would you recommend as a first step?
I think you have to have a passion to help others. So my first step was in counseling, and I worked in that field for a period of time and then moved into the government end of it, where I help get the services that are needed for the county residents. So those who need mental health services or addiction services, I help contract for those and help people link to that. So you have to have a passion for caring for others and then a career path. You don't necessarily have to go through counseling. It could be business, it could be, we actually have some lawyers that are in my role, but I think the main key is helping others seek the help that they need.
For an adult looking to move into this field, how can they get started?
I think you have to have that caring for others. You have to be very organized. You need to be able to do something different every day. So wearing numerous hats. One day you might be doing presentations. The next day you might be linking people to treatment. The next day you might be writing contracts. So you have to have a lot of skills. People skills are important. You're going to be in front of the public a lot. You're going to be interacting with individuals. So you can't be shy and not willing to put yourself out in talking with others.
I like that as well. For someone not working in this field, what is something surprising about your career that others might not know?
That while you're helping others, you don't always get the results that you want. So you have a lot of failures along the way. You have a lot of frustration along the way. So you have to be able to deal with that. You have to be able to celebrate the good things and concentrate on that. But I think the other piece is you have to be able to do the nitty-gritty, get out there and get your hands dirty, get out and meet people, and then be willing to write a contract if you have to, be able to do some of the financial stuff if you have to. So really a jack of all trades.
Cool. And then what are 3 things that you do during a typical workday?
That's almost an oxymoron because typical workday for me is not very typical.
That's what it sounds like.
Right. So, I mean, I might be at an event at the fair. I might be in a meeting. Zoom meetings are a huge thing now. I could be answering phones, I could be writing contracts, I could be actually meeting with individuals. Sometimes I attend groups to see what the patients or clients, what their take is on the services they're receiving. So lots of different things, and like I said, typical is not always typical.
And then finally, a person in this career, what should they be passionate about?
Caring for others and finding what other people's passions are. So just because you have a mental health illness or you have addiction doesn't mean that that's the end of your story. There is time beyond that. You do the work, you put in the effort to improve yourself, and you can be incredibly successful.
I really like that.